as we welcome you back to PGSN for our final basketball broadcast of the season. Tonight's matchup features the Pleasant Grove Vikings and the Corner Canyon Chargers. Both teams playing their first game of this 6A state playoffs. The winner of today's match will go on to face the American Fork Cavemen or the Bingham Miners in a game that will be decided at an identical start time to this one at 7 p.m. That game is being played closer to home at American Fork. We are in Draper, Utah tonight. My name is Alan Judson. I'll be joined in just a second by Jack Barnard, and we are ready for the final game of our season today. Corner Canyon on the opposite side of the Vikings, 16-7 coming into this game, led by Brody Kozlowski, their 6'8" senior, averaging over 19 points per game over an 8-game stretch. He missed the first 15 games of the season due to an injury, but has been back and better than ever since Bingham went to Copper Hills during region play in their second game of region play. Since he has been back, Corner Canyon is averaging beating teams by 20 points per game. That is an absolutely crazy number. Over the season, they have an average scoring differential of 7.4. Pleasant Grove has an average scoring differential of 1 score at +3. Let's talk about the Vikings really quick. Pleasant Grove comes into this game with a 12-11 record, 2-8 in region play. Those two victories coming at home against Westlake and at home against the Falcons. Last time out on senior night, they did fall to the Lehigh Pioneers by 5 points in a very, very close matchup, something we have seen a lot of games here for Pleasant Grove once we've entered region play. A lot of close games that have come down to the closing seconds, and expect another really, really good game today, although Corner Canyon is a team that is very, very height dominant. Brody Kozlowski, 6'8". Darrell Desire, who you'll see play a lot of minutes, is 6'10". Mo Brown, 6'6". Mo Brown is a freshman, but Desire and Kozlowski, both seniors. Great game we have on deck here as Pleasant Grove kicks off the playoffs. As they will head to the University of Utah. If they do win today, their next game will be at 9:30 a.m. on Monday morning. We'll talk about that once we get closer to the end of the game for the team that is either wins or looks like they will win, and kind of the next steps they'll take in these playoffs. But a great matchup on deck tonight as we were about 8.5 minutes or so away from tip-off. Pleasant Grove, of course, being led by kind of Riker Mickelson in scoring. Led by Riker Mickelson in scoring. He will start tonight along with Andrew Anderson, Carson Rasmussen, Ty Palmer, and Makai Peterson. That rounds out your Vikings starting five. And a very, very talented one nonetheless. Very guard heavy, something we've seen through Pleasant Grove all season. Players that are 6'4" or shorter. See a lot of those short guards who are very, very good at shooting the threes. We'd like to welcome Jack Barnard onto the mic as we prepare for tip-off here. Welcome, Jack.
Thank you. Always a pleasure to be on Pleasant Grove Sports Network. Sorry I was gone here. Just figuring out, oh my goodness, their facilities.
Yeah, we were just talking a little bit about Pleasant Grove and kind of how they're very guard dominant. What do you think Pleasant Grove can do tonight to offset the capabilities of a very tall Corner Canyon lineup with Kozlowski and Desire?
You know, I think that they just got a full court press and try to intercept their passes as much as possible. You know, as long as they're tipping passes and taking their dribbles away, because with height, you know, sometimes being short and pesky can just be the end of it all for them. So I feel that that's something that Pleasant Grove could do to win this game, defensively at least. But they have to play their offense to a T tonight to beat this strong Corner Canyon team.
Yeah, and that offense is shooting a lot of threes. A couple records that could be broken tonight. Pleasant Grove is 8 3-pointers made away from breaking the Utah State record for 3-pointers made in a season by a team.
Really?
As well as Andrew Anderson is 2 3-pointers away from tying for 4th all-time for 3-pointers made in a season in Pleasant Grove history. So we'll talk about those a little more if/when they do happen.
Is Dylan Jones at the top of that list for Pleasant Grove?
I can't tell you exactly who's at the top. I can tell you who Andrew Anderson would tie. He would tie Forrest Pincock's 2013 mark of 55 if he hit 2 of those threes. But I will get back to you in just a second over who's at first place. But until we have those rankings, Jack, do you think that Pleasant Grove will be able to find success for MD? Because obviously, if you have to play them on offense, you have to play them on defense. You have a very lengthy Corner Canyon squad that you have to try and work around and shoot over.
Yeah, again, I think that just if they get like quick and good passes through, and they find the open man and they take their whole shot clock. It does not matter if they take their whole shot clock. If they're hitting a 3 at the end of that, at the end of the shot clock, I just said shot clock like 800 times. If they find it if they find that shot with 1 second left, I'm completely fine with it, because if Corner Canyon goes down and dunks it, and we go down and hit a 3,
that's still a plus 1.
Yeah, if we shoot from 3 and we hit 50% of them, and Corner Canyon hits like 65% of their 2-point shots, after like 6 minutes of I'm kind of forgetting the stat, but I do know I'm forgetting how many shots it would take.
Yeah.
But Pleasant Grove would be up 16 if they shot at those like percentages, and that's just an example to prove that in basketball the 3-point revolution has happened, and it's here, and it's so much more dominant than people sometimes want to admit.
So that 3-point record is actually held by Tyler Fairbanks. Dylan Jones is down 3rd on the list with his 2020 record, or 3rd place, of 67 threes. But just to go back to what you were saying really quickly, I think you're exactly right. The 3 is so much more valuable in the 2, especially in the way that Pleasant Grove shoots. Obviously, neither team is going to shoot the shooting percentage that you talked about. Pleasant Grove's not going to shoot 50% from 3, but Corner Canyon's not going to shoot 65% from inside the arc. But something that Pleasant Grove has done all season is shoot 35% from 3.
And
that's a really, really good mark as shooting collectively as a team. And then you have marks that are amazing throughout the team. Clay Hansen is shooting 40%. Andrew Anderson is shooting a crazy 42%. Ty Palmer also at 40%. Riker Mickelson's percentage has started to pick up over the last couple of weeks. He's at 35%. Makai Peterson has a high percentage shot. Ethan Hilliard has a high percentage shot. Rasmussen has a high percentage shot. Ryan Hadley struggled a little bit from deep, but the main 7 or 8 guys that you see out there on the floor for Pleasant Grove, all of them are shooting 35% or better, besides Riker Mickelson and Ryan Hadley, and those guys are shooting 34.8% and 32.5% respectively. So very, very, very good 3-point shooting for this Pleasant Grove team. If they can find their open shots, it's usually pretty safe to assume that they'll make them at a pretty good rate.
Yeah, and shooting at a 35% rate in high school is extreme. It is extremely high, because 40% in college and the NBA is that's like the best of the best.
Yeah.
Occasionally you'll see 50%, but that's when people that don't shoot very many threes, and then when they do shoot them, they make them. And that's sort of the Makai Peterson and Carson Rasmussen stat, because they aren't shooting very many threes, but when they do, you can almost count on them to go in. Carson Rasmussen really started the season off strong, hitting a lot of threes in a lot of games. And then he during that Georgia trip while playing Groves, got blocked 3 times on shooting threes, and he slowed down. The rest of the season has only taken extremely open shots.
But he's picked up more as a point guard. Carson's assist numbers have been just going up and up and up throughout this season. He's averaging almost 4 assists per game. And he's done a great job of keeping the turnovers down as well. This is going to sound like a lot, but remember that he's the primary ball handler for this Pleasant Grove team. He only has 50 turnovers on the season, so averaging just over 2 per game, which is obviously a mark for Pleasant Grove that you'd like to come down, but for the number of assists that he's giving compared to the number of turnovers that he's providing, it's a pretty good trade-off for this Pleasant Grove offense, especially with how much they like to move the ball around.
Yeah, assist-to-turnover ratio is extremely good. So, as we're going in tonight, who are you expecting to hit a couple threes? Not necessarily surprisingly, but hit some threes, kind of come out as this game's 3-point sniper?
I think that Andrew Anderson is going to keep doing what he's been doing all year. We've talked about him a little bit already, but he's made 52 shots, and he's only taken, again, this is going to sound like a lot, but you got to remember, he's made 52 of them. He's only taken 124. So 42% from beyond the arc, and he's kind of been one of the main reasons. One thing that I have personally loved to see is Pleasant Grove, as we talked about a little earlier, is 8 3-pointers made away from breaking the state record. They're over 30 3-pointers attempted away from breaking that state record. So they're shooting at one of the best percentages in state history for the number of attempts that they're taking. And so for Pleasant Grove, I think Andrew Anderson's going to do a great job. And I think we'll see a little bit more Clay Hansen than we've seen in these last couple games. Pleasant Grove's going to try to do their best to shoot the lights out. And Clay Hansen has shot very well from beyond the arc. I think he could be a spark off the bench if he's given the chance. And then on the other side for the Chargers, obviously Kozlowski is very, very good from beyond the arc. And then Taylor Ferroa has made 38 shots from beyond the arc. I think he could have a big day today if he's given the opportunity, the senior small forward.
Yeah. So we're going to cut to our national anthem real quick, and then they're going to do player introductions. So we will join you again once those are over.
Plummer goes for the right, tries to kick it out.
And it's stolen. Corner Canyon's going to go down the court once again. Pleasant Grove has still not put points on the board. Ferraro kicks it out. Kozlowski, no good.
So if I remember right, the lowest point total in a quarter against Corner Canyon this season is 4, as Hilliard misses a 3.
That's insane. Who was that? Only in their region. Inside. And that's Ferroa.
Corner Canyon scored 3 in the first quarter against Lone Peak. Nicholson stepped out of bounds.
And Makai Peterson, Andrew Anderson, and Carson Rasmussen are checking out. As it is 13-0 here. 3 minutes and 22 seconds to go. This is Desire. Valdes with the ball. Gives it. No good
Kozlowski gets a
from
big
Benninger.
offensive rebound.
Inside Desire. Being guarded by 2 Vikings, but they can't do much against his 6'10" frame. And here comes Makai Peterson. Makai on the baseline. Picks up his dribble, gives it to Carson. Carson Rasmussen with the ball. Gives it to Clay. Clay out to Makai. Quick 3 from Makai. Good!
That was a great look by Makai Peterson in the corner, and thankfully for Pleasant Grove, he sinks that one. 5 points on the board now as they're still down 12. Kozlowski drops it down to Desire. Desire kicks it out. Valdez can't connect. Rebound Clay Hansen, and Carson Rasmussen's off and running.
Rasmussen speeding up, stops at the free throw line, gives it to Clay. Clay, a quick 3. Good! Clay Hansen hits that one.
That's a big three-pointer by the not newly shaved anymore, but Clay Hansen with a big shot there as Pleasant Grove still trying to claw their way back, now down 9.
Valdez gives it to Kozlowski. Kozlowski down into Nybar, back out.
Good
That
close
was
by Andrew Anderson to keep that 3 from coming off the hands of Bendinger.
inside. And that's good from Nybar.
And then similarly great move by Nybar to kind of get away from Ethan Hilliard and not get that charge called on him.
Andrew Anderson trying to get a 3, but not letting up Corner Canyon's defense, and that is Benninger picks up a foul on Andrew Anderson.
So that will send Anderson, it won't send him to the line. Carson's going to inbound from the baseline. That is the first foul of the game on Robertson. The second of the quarter on the Chargers.
It's on Robertson?
It did go against Robertson, yes. Oh, and that's a play that they've watched on film.
I don't think it did. I think it went against Benninger. Speaking of Benninger, he has the ball. Gives it inside. And that's a good layup from Kozlowski.
That's not a shot he's ever going to miss either, as Clay Hansen now taking it up the court for Pleasant Grove. And you're right, it did go against Bendinger.
Clay gives it to Makai. Makai at the free throw line, trying to get some space, drives in. Reverse layup, rolls it home.
Pleasant Grove does get a bucket under the rim in this first quarter, as now here's Ferroa.
Kozlowski now to Nybar. Inside, kicks it out. Kozlowski for 3, good!
That's so frustrating. That ball was in the hands of Riker Mickelson. And then just a great heads-up play to keep going after the ball for the Chargers, and they get 3 points out of it.
Carson Rasmussen with the ball, kicks it out. Riker, open 3, no good. That's going to be a foul on Clay.
over the back call as Pleasant Grove gets their first foul of this game. And Jackson Brown checks in for Clay Hansen. It's a 24-10 ball game with 14 seconds left to go here in this first period.
14-point lead with 14.
There's Valdez. For the last shot, and it's a deep one and sunk.
Goodness.
By Noah Bendinger, and that will do it for the first quarter. What an explosion on offense for the Chargers. 27-10 after one quarter. That is
just impressive.
Yeah, just great shooting from deep and just an amazing offensive job. And Pleasant Grove's defense kind of struggled a little bit.
Their offense struggled significantly. Could not catch a bucket for a long time. So ending up being a 10-point first quarter for the Vikings is they're going to go into the second quarter a little bit frustrated here, but
yeah, something that's probably not a good sign for Pleasant Grove. Corner Canyon's on a 12-game winning streak. They haven't lost since last year on December 18th. That is their highest scoring. This 27-point quarter is their highest scoring first quarter in that entire stretch. They have not started out a game better than they've started out tonight, and a great way to start off the playoffs if you're a Chargers fan. And now, if you're a Pleasant Grove fan, you just have to hope that they do something that they haven't done really all season, and that's make a big comeback. They also haven't really been down by this much all season, but really the one time I can think of that they came back and made it a 2-point game in the third quarter against the Pioneers on the road.
Yeah.
As we're going to take the opportunity to talk about our title sponsor, Chubby's Neighborhood Cafe. It's a great spot located in Pleasant Grove, across the street from the Zions Bank in the same parking lot as the Ace Hardware. Chubby's Neighborhood Cafe with a couple other locations sprinkled across Utah Valley. Great place to go if you're looking for, some good food at a great price. They have wings, burgers, salads, really any type of American food that you can imagine, and it's a great place to go if you're looking for that.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. Carson Rasmussen's going to start off with the ball here, second quarter. Gives it to Hadley. Hadley to Ty. Ty's going to drive in. Kicks it out to Mackay. Mackay tied up, gives it to Ty. And Ty Palmer drives in, and it's good.
That's a good finish under the basket for Palmer. So he gives Pleasant Grove some early points here in this quarter, but now you have to deal with Faroa.
Faroa gets it to Valdez.
Good switch by Palmer. Gets right on Nybar.
Nybar inside. Oh, just cannot put it home.
That was, in my opinion at least, great defense by Ty Palmer. He did get whistled for a foul, but did a great job of staying in front of Nybar that entire drive. No basket was converted. Nybar is going to get 2 from the charity stripe. His first shot is good.
Rolls it home.
That's the 5th point of the day for Nybar.
Nybar's second is no good, but Kozlowski ends up with it, trying to wrestle it away, and Riker makes it a jump ball.
It's going to stay Corner Canyon basketball, but they have to sacrifice the possession arrow. Kozlowski hit the deck. Riker did a great job of getting his hand in there, forcing the whistle. So Valdez is going to inbound, and Nybar goes to take a seat. It goes into the tall man, Desire.
Desire in the paint, almost loses it.
Pleasant Grove wanted to travel.
This is Nybar. Gives it to Kozlowski at the free throw line. Kozlowski spin move in the paint, good. And that's just unbeatable if you can hit that at a high percentage. Mackay Peterson gives it to Ty. Ty back to Carson.
Way up top, almost resetting the play.
Mackay gives it to Riker. Riker back to Ty. Ty almost had an open look, but gave it up. Gets it into Rasmussen, and he puts it up and no good. And Hadley hit the deck, and no foul called. Valdez gives it to Nybar, back to Valdez. Now Desire inside, swing pass, and he passed it to the referee, and it's going to be Pleasant Grove's ball.
I think he might have been expecting Kozlowski to kick to the elbow, or that might have just been a shot that didn't go where he thought his hand was going to send it, but Pleasant Grove gets the turnover off some great defense, but now you have to capitalize offensively if you're Pleasant Grove. You can't miss any more open layups.
Here's Rasmussen, gives it to Ty. Ty, back to Rasmussen. Now to Hadley. Hadley takes a three, no good.
Way off the mark for Ryan Hadley. Pleasant Grove is struggling.
Valdez to Kozlowski. Now outside is Benninger, and it's good from Benninger.
Pleasant Grove is a really, really good three-point shooting team. They're seeing another really, really good three-point shooting team on the other side as Ty Palmer works some magic almost.
Hadley cannot tip it in. Down low, kicks it out to Kozlowski. Kozlowski in the paint to Nybar. Nybar, three, good.
That was Faroa who sunk that one in. And Pleasant Grove's deficit just getting larger and larger. It's now 24. And now that's going to cause a timeout by Pleasant Grove. Just, Jack, what has happened here in this first quarter plus 3 minutes that's caused Pleasant Grove to be down by so much, a 24-point deficit?
Corner Canyon's massacred our confidence. It's gone. And that's a huge problem for Pleasant Grove if they wanted to win this game. Now almost an insurmountable deficit. They're in the second quarter, so a lot can happen. However, 24 points down is very tough. And basing off of their scoring ability so far, they haven't been able to. But Pleasant Grove still can turn on the Jets here with their three-point shooting, and they're going against another really good three-point shooting team, as you said. And they just got to shut down any opportunities for Desire and try to shut down Kozlowski, who's really dominating the paint. Who he isn't in right now, but he will be in later.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove averages 12 three-pointers made per game. They have 2 so far. Corner Canyon averages 7.5. So I think they might have already hit that 7.5 mark. As Mickelson's going to inbound, he's going to go backcourt to Rasmussen. He's going to have to fight Robertson for it, but Rasmussen wins.
Rasmussen gives it to Riker. Mickelson with the ball. Riker gives it to Carson.
Gets that high screen by Mickelson. Step back, three. Won't go.
Good. Almost tried to have the shot clock go off. And this is Nybar. Gives it to inside Benninger. Now it's Ferrora.
Just a great cut by Taylor Ferrora to get himself wide open. Pleasant Grove's going to sub 5 guys in at the next dead ball.
Riker is blocked. Ty Palmer fights for it. Gives it to Andrew. And there.
The shot clock got reset.
It's tough.
And that shot clock was not supposed to get reset, so they're going to fix that.
Corner Canyon teacher resets the clock too early.
So 26 seconds on the clock now. As I mentioned, 5 new guys in for Pleasant Grove. It's Ethan Hilliard, Ryan Hadley, Clay Hansen, Jackson Brown, and Milo Johansson.
Ryan gives it to Milo. Milo with the ball. Gives it to Jackson. Jackson out to Clay, and there's going to be a foul.
Clay Hansen shoots one after the whistle, and it goes in. I think Pleasant Grove would say, don't blow the whistle, let us have the 3 points, and we'll go back on defense. But Hadley's going to have to inbound for Pleasant Grove. He's kind of the point guard of this weird 5-man rotation. I don't think we've seen these guys share the court probably at all this season.
Yeah, interesting lineup they got going here as Hilliard gets the pass. Hilliard to Jackson. Jackson gives it to Hadley. Ryan Hadley looking for the play. Ryan gives it to Milo. Milo at the free throw line gives it to Hilliard. Hilliard three, overshot.
And an easy rebound for Ferrora. That's something Pleasant Grove has struggled with. They've been so good all season.
Three from Benninger, and it's no good.
They've been so good offensively and defensively on the boards, and today they haven't really shown any extra success. As there's a travel called on Clay Hansen.
He does a jump stop, and they call it a travel.
That's a textbook jump stop. I think that when people say, when Coach McAllister goes and says, do a jump stop, that's what he wants them to do. But a travel called, and now Nybar and the Chargers offense right back to it. Cut down low to Desire.
Desire kicks it out. Benninger has it, and he's fouled by Milo Johansson.
Ferroa is going to inbound. Kozlowski's short-range jumper is good. Chargers are at 40. Pleasant Grove, 12. As Clay Hansen gets it to Hadley. Hadley drives down low, kicks it out.
Hansen, deep corner three, good.
He's the first Viking to connect on 2 3-pointers today, as they have 3.
Benninger inside the paint, goes up, cannot connect. Kozlowski ends up with it. Now Benninger has it again. Pleasant Grove cannot buy a defensive rebound this game. Kozlowski, turnaround jumper, hits the back of the rim.
Hansen with the rebound. Now he takes the ball up for Pleasant Grove. Gets it to Hadley. Hadley is going to get a screen from Hansen. Now he drives right side on Kozlowski. Stuck in the paint, kicks it out. Hilliard for 3. No good off the back of the iron. Hansen, big offensive rebound.
Good for Clay.
As, again, a shot clock issue. As it's still stuck at 35. It should have reset because it did hit the backboard, but it just never got started.
It's either a student or a teacher. I cannot tell.
Either way, a couple mistakes here, and that's probably the only mistakes that anybody associated with Corner Canyon has made on this basketball court so far tonight.
Here's Clay. Gives it to Milo. Milo to Hadley. Hadley did. Here's inside, Hilliard. First layup gives it to Jackson. His layup is no good.
I think that's 3 or 4 just smokies. As there's just a block on Nybar.
No foul, and Hilliard's going to go down the court. Hilliard gives it to Hadley, now to Jackson. Quick 3 from Jackson. Good! Jackson Brown struggled in the middle of the season with 3s.
That's a big shot. Obviously doesn't bring the game much closer, but any points and any confidence is nice right now, as there's just an easy one for Kozlowski down low. Good fake on the handoff.
Hadley to Clay. Clay to Jackson. Tipped. Desire, and he's going to jump out of bounds. It's going to be PG's ball.
Pleasant Grove's going to bring in, I think they're back to that 5-man rotation. It's Rasmussen, Peterson, Mickelson, Palmer, and Anderson. And these are some unique 5-man rotations, ones we haven't seen all season. But the last one seemed to work a little bit, as Carson almost had his pocket picked.
Carson stops, and there's a foul.
You'll see a lot of players in the NBA try and keep that player on their back hip as they advance the ball, and Rasmussen did a great job there of doing that with Valdez, and he draws the foul. Valdez is first. Both teams have 2 in this rather old quarter now, with 1:30 left to go.
Rasmussen. And he trips over Valdez, who falls over.
So he's getting in Valdez's face a little bit, and I know you're down, what is it, 24? 24?
Yeah, it's 24 deficit.
But you need a little bit of a spark, as there's Palmer, who tries to light it.
At home.
Pleasant Grove starting to catch a little bit of fire from 3. Your score still being doubled, but you're slowly making work as Desire drives in.
My goodness, Desire, and they're going to call a blocking foul on Ty Palmer for Desire.
He was in a textbook spot to take the charge. I just think Palmer didn't execute it to perfection, and that's what you have to do to get those charge calls, is just execute them to exact perfection. And that's going to send Desire to the line. With 59 seconds left here in this first half, Desire's first is no good.
Left-hand shooter. Zires second. Good. Riker inbounds to Carson. 57 seconds to go here in the half. Gives it to Andrew in the corner. Andrew gives it to Ty. Ty in the paint. Gives it to Makai.
20 seconds on the
switching
shot clock.
directions. Gives it to Andrew. Wide open. Takes the three. Parries the three.
His first on the night. Pleasant Grove sixth, as they've shot threes really well. Now that they've caught a little bit of fire, their percentage is starting to go up.
Almost stolen by Anderson. Now inside. Shot. No good. It's caught by Ferroa. Now out to Kozlowski. Three. No foul on the three. Slapped out. And here's Valdez with the final shot. 12 seconds.
They are going to take the final shot.
Trying to juke out. And they call it travel.
A carry. But same result nonetheless. It's going to be Pleasant Grove basketball.
Carry, travel, it's all the same.
They're really the same thing. Just depends on the ref of which one's going to get called. Rasmussen taking it up the court now. 1 on the clock. Anderson's going to have to pop it. He doesn't. He just holds it. And then is knocked to the ground by Ferroa. So going into halftime, it's not 20, but it's pretty dang close.
It's
a 19-point deficit as it's 43-24. The Chargers with a wild stampede in the first half. Jack, there's not much they did wrong. What did Corner Canyon do right?
Everything. They did everything, executing their plays right, getting offensive rebounds, getting defensive rebounds. Every single aspect of their game, especially in the first quarter, was perfected. And that's what ended up Pleasant Grove scoring 10 points in the first quarter. Second quarter get 14, so they
their defense was a lot sharper in that second quarter, though.
Pleasant Grove?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. So slowing down Corner Canyon a little bit, but down 19, it's a tough deficit to have.
Yeah, Pleasant Grove.
I don't know if there's really much to say. Like,
yeah,
it's truly is. Corner Canyon's an amazing team, and they were absolutely killing it in the first quarter and the second quarter, both of them.
Yeah,
doing everything that they can.
Talking to Coach Scoville before the game, he said this Corner Canyon team is a team that Pleasant Grove can beat, and they're a team, and Corner Canyon is a team that can win state. Like, this is, and in the first half, they were a team that could win state. They were a team that, if they play like this the entire tournament, they're winning state.
Absolutely.
And so, you don't know which one you're going to face. You obviously have to prepare for the team that's going to win state. And it looks like Pleasant Grove tried to prepare for the team that's going to win state. And then it just so turns out that the team that's going to win state is a really, really dang good Corner Canyon team. It's going to be very hard for Pleasant Grove to come back in the second half, but they're going to have to start hitting three-pointers, and that's kind of what they started to do towards the end of that second quarter, and we saw them find a little bit of success there, and they're going to have to do that at an exponential level if they want to go out and win this game.
Yeah, so going to go into the second half here, and we're going to take a little bit of a break here at halftime. We will join you in just a few minutes here, probably about 3 minutes to go.
As we come back here, we have a special guest principal. I almost called you Josh.
That's all right.
That one's not you. Principal John
There's
Hanks.
a few Hankses roaming around.
As I don't have much to say. I know you said that you wanted to talk a little bit about Coach McAllister, and there's a lot to say, so I'll just hand the mic over to you and let you kind of talk about the great guy we have on the sideline.
And this has been a great couple of decades for Coach Mack and for PG, and just wanted to, praise him for all the many, many years and hours that he's put into our program and to PG basketball. I think he's so well respected across the state that definitely we've been very fortunate. And he's getting to know him well over the last probably 5 or 6 years. He has a care and a concern for the boys on the team, regardless of the outcome. And I think you can see that throughout the years. You can see that tonight, and no matter what the status of the team is, he just loves the kids. I had a son who played for him a couple years ago, and was a life-changing experience for him just to be on that team and to play with Coach Mack. So we love him and we'll miss him, but gosh, he's done so much for PG basketball.
Yeah, we're not at practice every single day, but I think the impact that Coach McAllister has made is felt entirely throughout the school. Just getting to spend a couple days with him and the team in Georgia was just a great experience. They're so focused here at Pleasant Grove. I think it's something that we have a little bit different compared to the schools around the district. Is this basketball team is not just a team that's trying to go out and win state championships. Coach McAllister and this coaching staff is so focused on making these boys into men, is probably the way they'd explain it to you. And it's a great way. There are some great guys that have kind of come out of this Pleasant Grove basketball program, and that's not fully in part, but in large part due to Coach McAllister and the impact that he has on the people that he's around.
And you could see, the last couple of years he reached, a milestone in victories and retiring, and all the former players that came out to support him and show their appreciation for him, even from years ago, is pretty impressive. And when we talk to other coaches and other administrators and those who've been in athletics across the state, it's 100% positive about Coach Mack and the things that he's done, and just such respect for him across the state. And it's great to be able to be here and see him at PG these last few years.
Yeah, 24, I think. Yeah. Maybe 25 years of service.
Yeah. 300 wins, over 300 wins.
Yeah, I have the exact 336.
Yep.
193 losses. That is a absolutely crazy winning percentage.
And he's such a humble guy. We recognize him a lot, and every time he just, he doesn't want the attention. He's just in it for the love of the game and love of the boys.
Yeah, it's going to be some big shoes to fill for the next guy who comes in.
Yep, that's true.
His place. Do you know who it is?
I wish I did. Nope. Well, hopefully we get a lot of interest from some quality coaches, and I think over the next 3, 4 weeks, we'll know for sure. As soon as we do, we'll let everybody know.
It's a great place to come, and it's a great place to coach, and a lot of juniors on this team, so they're going to inherit a great roster.
Next year's going to be good. And I know I'm talking a lot, but one more thing.
No, you're fine.
The seniors, the boys on this team, the seniors that have played, just is a commendable thing for them to have, spent so much time and sacrificed so much to be on the team. The season didn't go the way we hoped, but these are just some fine young men. And the seniors, I know those seniors pretty well. And they're just good kids, great kids. And, like I said, we wish the season would have gone a little differently, but you just have to admire and respect the effort that they put into the season this year.
Yeah, not at all over yet. Still got about at least 24 minutes to play. Hopefully another game, so we can make the long drive home happy. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate what you guys do.
The last time this basketball season, but
we'll get it next year too.
Yeah.
Me, at least.
Yeah, I won't.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thank you. Looking forward to the second half. As a great second half we have on deck. And some of the notes that were brought up in the locker room, weak screens coming off, and that's something we've kind of seen a lot from this Pleasant Grove offense, as well as the ball pressure has been very, very minimal. That's something that Pleasant Grove has focused on all season, is to force these teams to make mistakes. And as well as just being, beyond the arc. That's something that Pleasant Grove has been really, really bad at, is forcing that pressure beyond the arc. Two more things. Pleasant Grove's got to stop taking shots in the paint. There have been a lot of layups that they've missed, a lot of layups that have gone in, but when you're down 19, you need to take three-pointers, and that's something you're going to see Pleasant Grove take a lot of here in the second half. And finally, we talked about it going into halftime, but being tough on rebounds, both on the offensive and defensive side. You have to get the ball back. In large part, I'd say, honestly, defensive rebounds are kind of a bigger point of emphasis, should be a bigger point of emphasis for this Pleasant Grove team in the second half. They are in no means out of this ball game. We still have a very, very good second half on deck. Don't go anywhere. We have 30 seconds until we head back to basketball. We will be back here on PGSN. Starting on the court for Pleasant Grove, Clay Hansen, Ty Palmer, Makai Peterson, Andrew Anderson, and Riker Mickelson are the first half starting five. This kind of feels a little bit more like one of the traditional five-man rotations Pleasant Grove would see earlier in the season, as Anderson stuck, gets it out to Mickelson.
Riker inside the paint at the free throw line, gets it to Clay.
The shot clock isn't running.
Oh my. Yep,
and
there
now
you go.
the referee notices that has to be a technical issue. You can't forget to run the shot clock on the first play of the second half.
I don't understand what's happening.
Was he playing Clash of Clans?
I was playing Clash of Clans at halftime. However, if you're doing something like running the shot clock, like they get paid to do that. Like it must be something technical. There's no way you forget three, or I guess the other two times that there's been an issue, they reset it when Pleasant Grove got a rebound.
This time they put it at 14.
Okay.
Because you're 21 seconds into the half, so it's the right spot, but that kind of hurts Pleasant Grove a little bit.
Ty Palmer drives in, kicks it out. Riker for three. Good. Riker Mickelson.
Great shot, great find, great make. As Mickelson sinks a three.
Just like my grandma, she's great, great, great.
Love to hear it. As Desire gets the charge called. Riker Mickelson, this might be the last chance I get to talk about him. He is an amazing, amazing player. If the parents or grandparents or cousins or uncle, if anybody who knows Riker Mickelson is listening or has had any part in his life, you have done a great job. He is an amazing man, both as a leader off the court and a player on the court.
Yeah, just a great guy. Andrew stops and puts it in, and it's going to be an and one.
That is the most fired up I have seen Coach McAllister all season. He's not a guy who lets his emotions get hot. Well, I did see him a little more upset, but this is the most excited I've seen him all season.
That was Kozlowski, just jumps right over Andrew.
Andrew Anderson, I think the most impressive part is having the poise to kind of let Kozlowski he's 6'8". You are not. And you just kind of let him fall over you and take your free throw, which he does end up missing. But the bucket is big nonetheless, as Pleasant Grove's trap is big as it forces a turnover.
Andrew Anderson and Makai are hugging for a second, and then the ball ends up with Makai. Makai spin move, kicks it out to Ty. Quick three from Ty Palmer off the front of the rim, and Kozlowski ends up with it.
I think even though they didn't get it, that's a much better rebound effort than we've seen from Pleasant Grove at all in the first half.
Andrew and Ferrara are pushing each other, getting a little angry.
And that's who has the ball right now.
Pesky defense, and it's stolen by Makai. He picks up his dribble, and his pass is just miscalculated. Spin move inside the paint, it's missed. And the second attempt, and there's a foul.
Yeah, I think he was trapped in the corner. He didn't really have an easy pass to make, but just went right into the hands of Nybar. And that's going to send Kozlowski to the line after a foul down low. Goes against Mickelson, his first.
Kozlowski shot is good.
So good from the line. And that's something you'll see. He's ranked 3rd in the state. He's committed to USC. You have to be so good from free throws, and he really is. Him and Tiger Cuff, Jackson Johnson are probably the 3 best free throw shooters in the state.
So he's going to meet LeBron.
Probably.
That's pretty cool.
As there's a timeout called by Corner Canyon. So I think, obviously, a big start to the second half for Pleasant Grove. And, you only gained 3 points from the start of the half to, now. But you're only a minute and 45 seconds in, and you have to love what you've seen so far from Coach McAllister.
It was about to be a 13-point deficit, but then, of course, that messed up play from Mackay being trapped in the corner.
I think the big thing you'll see, though, is at halftime, teams that are down so much, especially in the playoffs. For Pleasant Grove, it's never, but especially in the playoffs, you're not just going to lay down and get kicked. You're going to come in and you're going to make the necessary adjustments. You're going to play a great second half, and you're going to try and go win the game. And so for Corner Canyon, you have to think that the message from such a great coach on their side as well is you have to stay in this. You have to know that you're playing a really good team. Yeah, they're the 13 seed, but you're playing a really good team in gray, and you have to stay on your toes. And I think that that's something that coaches can say, and they can try and communicate that as much as possible, but that's not always picked up by the players until sometimes maybe they're punched in the gut or slapped in the face. And Pleasant Grove's hoping that they can punch Corner Canyon in the face and not give them time to get back.
Carson, sort of open lane, but then a risky pass and another almost loss of dribble. And here's Carson again with the ball. Carson at the free throw line, gives it to Mackay. He's in the corner. Mackay Peterson switches hands inside the baseline, gives it to Ty. Quick 3 from Ty Palmer, no good. Mackay Peterson ends up with it after Desire can't do much, and Kozlowski gets the rebound after a miss.
And it's a turnover.
My
Valdez
goodness.
got pressured by Riker Mickelson, and he turns the ball over. What a great job by Mickelson to not only just get his hand there and poke it free, but not get the foul called on him either. And now Pleasant Grove has the basketball. Here's Rasmussen in the half court.
Gives it to Ty. Ty thought about a 3, drives in though. Ty Palmer gives it to Clay. Clay barely caught that.
Now he's kind of stuck on the J.
Gives it to Ty Palmer. Going to left side dribble, and he's blocked from behind. They're going to call
a charge.
A charge after he was pushed from behind into another player.
That's another bad shot. If you're Pleasant Grove, you cannot try to take these shots at the rim. You're down by 16 points. You need to take a 3. If you're open, take them. Clearly, Ty wasn't. He got swatted. So, in my opinion, that's not a great shot. Obviously, you don't know that he's on your back hip if you're Ty. You think you have a nice shot to the lane, but
they take Ty out and put Hilliard in.
And we also see Andrew Anderson check in.
As Ty catches his 3rd foul this game.
Clay Hansen went and took a seat for Pleasant Grove as well. This
Hansen
is good ball pressure.
Dunk by Desire.
That's not even, I do not blame Riker Mickelson for not wanting to go up for that. But now he's working on Desire on the other end.
That is fouled by Desire. Gives it to Mackay. Mackay Peterson. Now right side. Inside the paint. Goes up. Puts it up. Cannot hit. And that's just not an advised shot, in my opinion.
Pleasant Grove's kind of gone back to what we saw in the first half, and that's just taking bad shots at the rim. And, you don't really convert a bunch of bad shots, and they haven't, as Desire is fouled down low by Mackay Peterson. And I think Clay Hansen's going to check in for Mackay, as Mackay gets his first. Desire's going to get 2 from the line.
Clay Hansen, such a good guy. Love Clay Hansen.
As Desire's first is good.
I met Clay Hansen's grandpa after the Lehigh game. And what can I say? Some of the nicest people I've ever met. His family.
Shout out to Grandpa Hansen.
What an awesome guy. Shout out to the Hansen family.
I think it's been great to see feedback and be able to talked to some of the families of these players. We absolutely love doing this for you guys. As Desire misses the second off the front of the rim, it goes off of Kozlowski's hand, and it's going to be Pleasant Grove basketball. So we'd like to thank you guys for tuning in all season, as we've got 12 minutes plus change, and then that's it for PGSN, no matter if it's a victory or a loss for Pleasant Grove for the 2024 basketball season.
Andrew Anderson with the ball, gives it to Riker.
I don't know what that was, but there's something on the court on the other end. That's a whole bird. That is an entire frozen bird. As Riker Mickelson, thanks for the record.
Oh, my goodness. What?
Pleasant Grove.
What's on the floor?
There was a dead bird thrown on the floor, but let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about the fact that Pleasant Grove just broke the state record for three-pointers made in a season, and a Corner Canyon fan threw a frozen turkey on the court. It was thawed, but it was a dead bird, and you cannot play if there's dead bird juice at the top of the key.
I might have to go back and watch this real quick. I did not see.
I don't think you can see it. I saw something fly on the court, and I thought it was a glove. That was a dead turkey.
Where? Oh, they're pointing right at the guy who did it. They're just ratting him out. Where is it? Did they just chuck it in the trash already?
They ran out and grabbed it as soon as they possibly could.
They better give PG their points.
Yeah, thanks Corner Canyon for somehow finding a way to dampen a record-setting three-point shot, but
that's super weird.
That is an absolute first in basketball. I have never seen a frozen turkey thrown on the court. That is, how do you think of that? How do you come into this game and you say, it's a great idea, let's throw a frozen turkey on the court? And, to the sympathy of Corner Canyon fans, this is a brand new court. That's unreal. Just unreal. You just go right back to basketball. As here's Valdez running the Corner Canyon offense. As he gets it to Nybar. Nybar is trying to find Desire. Instead, he kicks it up to Kozlowski. Top of the key, drops it down low. Ferroa guarded by Hansen, lays it up and in. So the Chargers reach the 50-point mark. As now Rasmussen and the Vikings offense look to answer.
Mickelson in the paint, kicks it out. That's Hilliard for three. Good! Hilliard buries it.
So as I didn't really get a chance to mention because of the turkey, Pleasant Grove is now the record holders for single-season three-pointers made. I worded that really weirdly. I'm just on a roll. But the single-season record holders for three-pointers made in a season is this Pleasant Grove team, as they just made their 284th with the three-pointer on that last possession. They break the...
Slips. They call foul. I think that was just slipping.
Can you call a foul on the turkey? Because
I think that was right where the turkey was. That's literally right where it was.
What team is he playing
for? They send him to the line.
That is, I'm still I'm just shocked that somebody threw a turkey on the court.
How did they get it in here without anyone noticing?
That is so weird, but welcome to Draper, Utah.
They make the free throw. Like, that doesn't even matter. The turkey's the thing that matters. After it tries to ruin our record-setting three.
It didn't just try, it kind of did.
So, just really weird, but kind of hilarious. So,
Rasmussen to Hadley. Hadley drives left hand. Down in the paint. Kicks it low to a cutting Rasmussen, and it goes off Nybar's hand.
Nybar visibly frustrated after that play.
He thinks that one went off Rasmussen. And it very well could have. We don't have a very good angle, so just trusting the refs, and he called it Pleasant Grove basketball. Here's Peterson down and low, lays it up, gets fouled.
There's going to be a foul, and he's going to go to the line.
Peterson has struggled from the line, to say the least, this season, but most importantly, recently, Makai Peterson has just straight struggled from the line, shooting 62.5% from there this season. He's 25 for 40, make it 26 for 41.
I didn't even see the student get in trouble. Sorry to bring it back to the turkey, but
I think it was thrown from this corner. It wasn't thrown from the student section.
Oh, it flew from the corner. Yeah, because I went back to watch the play, and there's nothing.
I mean, that means our cameramen are on top of it, but you missed a turkey getting thrown on the court. Here's Peterson, who makes his second free throw.
High arcing rainbow arch 3 right there.
Johansson and Brown, along with Hadley, Rasmussen, and Peterson are your 5 Vikings on the court. As Rasmussen picks his pocket.
One-on-one, but gives it in the corner. That's Milo, quick 3, just too short. And now here comes Benninger, and they just slow down, don't even try.
I know why Rasmussen did that. He didn't want to have desire to have a follow-through, but you can't just give up on the play.
Oh, my goodness. They're going to be Pleasant Grove ball after an insane attempt from...
So Noah Bendinger had that ball go off his hand and just looked, I don't know if he wanted a ref, but his eyes went straight to just the student section. Him and Desire both let it roll out of bounds, and then they called it Pleasant Grove basketball.
Yeah.
Just some weird things have happened in the last couple minutes.
Mackay recovers it. It's hard to tell, this Corner Canyon crowd really standing in front of the baseline. Gives it to Jackson, and he is blocked. And here comes Desire. You know, I know they're cheering loud, but I say I'm not impressed at all that they dunked it. He dunked it. He's 6'10". It makes sense, but it's also, you know, it's cool.
Now he gets called for a foul on the other end of the floor, as that's Desire's 3rd. That's a guy that Pleasant Grove wouldn't mind having foul out. As they're gonna bring Faroa to the scorer's table. I'd have to guess for Desire, but could be for anyone, as the lead is back up to 19. Hadley at the line, cuts it to 18. He's gonna get one more.
Imagine a second turkey gets thrown on the court. Or like that weird octopus tradition for the NHL. There's like chuck an octopus.
I think ice is a lot easier to clean. I think ice kind of cleans itself a little bit. This court does not clean itself.
Yeah, and clearly someone slipped after they cleaned it because they just got it wet and just left it there. They don't have those mop guys.
Hadley's second free throw is good. As now Ethan Hilliard's going to check in for Ryan Hadley.
17-point lead.
As now some good ball pressure on the inbound, but Nybar breaks it. Faroa kicks it to the corner. Hilliard tips it, and it's going to go off the Vikings.
Oh, just amazing effort, but cannot capitalize.
So as we talked about, the winner of this game will go to the University of Utah and play at 9:30 a.m. on Monday morning. As there's just an easy make for Nybar. Lays it up and in and brings the deficit back to 19 for Pleasant Grove.
Carson Rasmussen with the ball, gives it to Mackay. Mackay on the baseline, kicks it out to Hilliard. Hilliard, oh my goodness, just baits the defender, but he cannot connect on the 3. Carson Rasmussen gets it. Carson gives it to Ty. Thought about a 3, he's gonna drive in for a second and gives it back to Carson. Now back to Peterson, his 3, way off targets.
That his baseball history has definitely helped Carson Rasmussen on that pass, as Kozlowski is hurt. He's holding his ankle on the floor. That's not a guy you can have hurt for Corner Canyon. You saw them struggle in ways that you haven't really seen Corner Canyon struggle when he was not playing. The Chargers went 8-7 when Kozlowski was not playing games. And before they entered region play, they were 7-7. And I'm just going to say it, they play in the easiest region in 6A. And so this is a region that Corner Canyon should have run through, and they did. They went undefeated. They were 10-0 in region. But just a tough draw. And this region is by no means easy. 6A is difficult from top to bottom, but there's Region 3, and then there's Region 2.
And then who even knows what Region 1 is? I'm just kidding.
Fremont, Weber, Farmington,
yeah, those
Layton,
guys.
and that's about it. As Anderson under the hoop lays it up, and it won't go. Pleasant Grove's missing probably 10 points, and those are 10 big points.
So
from
the Weber
just Smokies.
Warriors are in.
The Weber Wildcats. As a layup for Roa, no good. His putback is good.
62-39. Carson Rasmussen trying to do a couple juke moves on the baseline. Carson gives it to Hilliard. Back to Carson.
Probably not intentionally, but now Mickelson has the top of the key, drives right side, lays it up. Won't
No
go.
foul.
No foul called.
Just really they are letting him play this game. Benninger keeps the ball.
No shot clock. 8 seconds left on the game clock here in this third quarter.
Benninger with the ball. Benninger gives it to Hayes. Going to go up for no good. So Valdez cannot connect.
So
And
not much really changed in that third quarter. Now it's a 22-point deficit for Pleasant Grove, a 3-point swing for the Chargers, but
they had it at 13 at one point.
you got to think this is pretty close to insurmountable. 22-point deficit heading into the final quarter.
This is absolute lock-in moment for Pleasant Grove.
As Coach McAllister and staff are going to come up with a way to beat the Chargers and a turkey. As we
The
will
Corner
take,
Canyon Turkeys, that's going to continue as a joke for me.
it's not turkey, but it is chicken. If you're looking for some good chicken, head to Chubby's Neighborhood Cafe in Pleasant Grove. Chicken strips, chicken wings, chicken sandwiches, burgers, salads. A lot of great stuff there at Chubby's Neighborhood Cafe. We'd like to thank them for everything they've done for us over this basketball season. And we encourage you guys to go check them out just as we have throughout the whole year. Really a great place to go eat. As Kozlowski's going to stay on the floor, even though he was holding his ankle after hitting the deck a little earlier in this ball game. And now for Corner Canyon, Faroa is going to inbound to Valdez. Valdez, Ty Palmer comes up on him. Now he gets it out to Kozlowski. Kozlowski drops it down. Faroa drops it right down to Nabar, who lays it up and in. Just another easy shot that Pleasant Grove's allowed as Palmer and the Vikings take over on offense. Palmer drives back, behind the back dribble. Now he's down in the paint, kicks it up top to Hilliard. Hilliard thought about a three, doesn't take it. Jab step, now he goes left. Now he's in the paint, kicks it to Anderson. Anderson, straightaway three, no good, and a big rebound by Kozlowski and the Chargers.
PG just cannot connect on their three-pointers this last few minutes here.
Kozlowski gets it to Bendinger. Bendinger, left hand, and a block called on Ryan Hadley. As the shot will not count. The first of the quarter for Pleasant Grove. Ryan Hadley's first as well. As just a very lopsided game. Corner Canyon 64, Pleasant Grove 39. As Kozlowski, Mickelson tipped it away from Faroa, but went it right into the hands of Valdez. Here's Bendinger. Gets it to Valdez. Now Faroa takes a three and sinks it.
Faroa haven't seen any three-point action from him so far, but what a great shot.
As Hilliard finally finds Hadley.
Ryan inside the paint, and they're calling a foul.
Off-ball foul is going to go against Corner Canyon. It goes against Brighton Valdez, as we're going to see Desire check in, as well as I think for the first time, we're going to see Hayden Gribble, the 6'5" senior shooting guard, who's wearing number 32. Ty Palmer gets it to Hadley. Hadley, left hand, going around the edge, drives in now.
Spin move,
Kicks
gives
it
out
out.
to
Anderson
Andrew.
for three,
Good.
6-6. That gets Pleasant Grove to 42, as now Bendinger gets it up top. Valdez kind of slowing it down a little bit, gets it out to Nabar. Nabar, left hand, through the legs, drives in. Now he goes up against two Vikings, no good, but a foul is called. as that's going to send Nabar to the line. That one goes against Ty Palmer. I believe that's his 4th.
It is.
Pleasant Grove's 2nd of the quarter. We're a
Ty.
minute 45 seconds in.
Ty's not unfamiliar with foul trouble this season.
Yeah, recently Ty's kind of turned it up on defense, playing a little bit more ferocious and a little bit more aggressive, but that comes with fouls as Nabar makes both. And that puts the Chargers at 69. Mickelson drives right hand on Desire. Now he's working in the paint, kicks it to Anderson. Anderson straight away, 3, no good. And then ball pressure, but the ball gets to Valdez nonetheless. Pass to Nabar. Nabar is going to drop it to Desire, and he dunks it in.
Now that's an impressive dunk. I like it.
Here's Anderson.
Can they answer with a 3? You know.
Palmer kicks it. Anderson, wide open corner 3 off the side of the rim. Hadley tries to tip it up. Hilliard tries to tip it out. It goes to Palmer. Mickelson's going to get the easiest layup of the game so far, and he does convert that one, and a timeout called by Coach McAllister as the deficit's now 27 points. This is tough. This is tough to watch.
It's just tough to see.
I think this is kind of a similar story to kind of Westlake a little bit, the game they played against Westlake, except for you didn't come back and tie it and take the lead at points. You kind of started to play just a little bit more, try and keep up and make a push at the end, and
it didn't work out.
Yeah, they've lost probably about 10 points after an explosive Corner Canyon start to the game. Since then, they've probably lost about 10 points, and just not great basketball played offensively or defensively by Pleasant Grove. And as I talked about, this is, and I saw Pleasant Grove's matchup against Corner Canyon, and I might have texted you, it might have been my mom, but this is the last team I wanted to face in the first round. Pleasant Grove had and has the absolute hardest path to a championship, and as well as Corner Canyon, having to face the best 13 seed in a long time in the 6A, and then you have to face American Fork or Bingham, and then you go play, assuming that the higher seeds win, you go play Layton, who's lost 1 game, and then you go play Lehigh. It is a very, very good 6A. Any of the teams I just talked about, as Desire and Gribble both tried to dunk it. Now Palmer is going to lay it up and in.
Good.
Despite Nabar smashing and shaking the backboard. There's a foul called on Anderson. But as I was talking about, if you look at anybody seeded 1 through 14, I confidently believe that any single one of those teams can win the state title. Layton, Lehigh, American Fork, this Corner Canyon team, Davis, Harriman, even Skyridge could make a run.
Yeah.
It's a very, very, very talented 6A. And even if you look towards not even the basement, but Westlake is so good, as there's a deep 3 by Bendinger, and he connects. We talk a lot about buying makes. Corner Canyon has a lot of money. Maybe they did, as Anderson can't buy one there. But they have a lot of makes, as they're up 28 points. Kozlowski now to Bendinger. Bendinger to Desire. Desire drops it down low. Laid up and in by Nabar, and now it's a 30-point lead.
And he wants a foul.
I think the refs want to go home. As Ty Palmer on the left elbow drives in. Behind the back won't go. Kozlowski grabs the loose ball, gets it to Desire. Desire on Mickelson, tries to cross over. Now he loses it off his foot. Grabbed by Kozlowski. Kozlowski in the corner. Skip pass cross court to Bendinger. Bendinger lays it up and in.
Coast-to-coast pass. That's more than a skip pass. They keep chanting, "We want Marty." I don't see a Marty. Brody? No, because that's Kozlowski, and he's like their best player.
Desire's dunk won't count, as the foul will go against Ty Palmer. I think his night is over.
Since I've seen Desire at Hoop Fest this year, I saw him and I said, he's going to be a problem in the tournament. No matter, even if they're not in our region, he's going to be a problem for anybody, any team that they play.
So Ty Palmer's night is over. He picked up his 5th foul, and with the way that this game looks, unless something that I've never ever seen before happens, Ty Palmer's season is over as well as he goes to take a seat on the bench. A great year by the junior guard, the transfer from Skyridge. Ty Palmer had his fingerprint in a lot of games this season. Ty ends the year with, coming into this game, 203 points. He shot 45% from the field, 40% from three. You really couldn't ask for a better season from someone like him. And he played great defense all the way through. Ty Palmer with an amazing season. As it's Hilliard, Mickelson, Hilliard, Rasmussen, Peterson, Hadley, and Hansen on the court now. Here's Hilliard. Gets it to Rasmussen. Rasmussen, left hand, and a foul is going to be called.
Continuing to play hard,
So a 34-point deficit for Pleasant Grove with just under half a quarter to go. Here's Rasmussen. Skies it to Peterson on the Chargers logo. Guarded by Desire. Peterson stutter step, left hand, spin move. Gonna try to go up and blocked. Almost what looked like accidentally by Desire. As now Bendinger and the Chargers offense, they have all their starters still on the floor.
this is kind of like the game last year when
They don't let up.
when it was
The JV kids for Pleasant Grove, as now Kozlowski gets fouled by Rasmussen.
PG's JV versus Corner Canyon's varsity.
As now the 4 rows of the Corner Canyon student section that showed up to a playoff game wave Pleasant Grove goodbye.
I say it's bad taste.
I'm not a huge fan of that until there's, I do respect some winning team, losing team up in Logan. I do respect some chants like that. There's still 3.5 minutes to go. I'd be shocked if Pleasant Grove wins this game, just to put it flat out. I'd be shocked if any team comes back from a 35-point deficit in 3.5 minutes. But
They really want. Here's Tyler Mortensen. He's checking in.
they really want Marty still. Maybe that's who this is. Maybe this is Morty.
Maybe.
He's a sophomore.
There is one freshman. His name is Mo Brown. 6'6".
This is who they wanted. They're very, very happy
So
to
they're
see Tyler
chanting
Mortensen
Morty.
on the floor.
I think it might be Morty.
To Peterson.
Peterson should just start taking some threes. How about it?
As here's Hadley. Working in the paint. He's going to go up. And no good. But he got fouled. That's going to send Hadley to the line. And it
They
goes
call
against
foul.
Morty.
And they are not happy about Morty getting
This is-
a foul.
Corner Canyon has been shooting the lights out all day. And that's probably the biggest reaction that we've seen from the Corner Canyon student section. Morty getting called for a foul got a bigger reaction than a turkey at the top of the key.
Then a turkey being chucked onto the court.
What world do these Chargers live in? As there goes Faroa, his night is likely over. Kozlowski's also sitting down as Hadley sinks his second. As it's kicked out to Jensen. Tag Jensen, loses it right out of bounds. As now Pleasant Grove's gonna sub in. We see Milo Johansson come in for Makai Peterson. Carson Rasmussen.
If they do it, I believe that we will win chant. I will have a very hot take.
I don't think
And it's not a hot take at
It's
all.
gonna be very hot.
It's not a hot take at all, but I'll only say it if it happens.
There's Johansson, skip pass, Hilliard for 3, left.
Ooh. That's just way off.
As now Corner Canyon begins to unload the bench. Out comes Desire, in comes Mo Brown. Out goes Bendinger, and I believe it's Wells Robertson who goes out as well. In comes Hudson Brown as well. And here's Jensen, gets it to Brown, Brown to Jensen. Jensen drives, lays it up, banned in, and a charge is called.
They
The
call
bucket
a
won't
charge.
count.
Ruins all their JV chances.
Shout out to Ryan Hadley, the senior guard. And something that I think Coach McAllister has done with this team so well is they don't give up. And that's something that's not just going to help them on the court, as most of this team is juniors, and you'll see them next year, but this will help them throughout life as Pleasant Grove's seniors having one last ride together here. Here's Hilliard, a senior, with his shot. Is in.
Good. Silences the airball chance.
Pleasant Grove just making the record a little harder to beat next time, as that one goes off the hand of Ryan Hadley. as Peterson Lunt, who is probably not the coach's son, but he could be.
Who?
Peterson Lunt, number 4.
There is not a Coach Lunt.
There is a Coach Lunt. He just got cut off the paper.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Actually, it might be. It's probably the coach's son.
As we're going to see Parker Van Dorn and Zane Windsor check in. And we see
Finn Spilsbury, big versatile, checking in as well.
The 3 seniors check out as a amazing ride for these 3 guys for their 4 years of high school basketball.
I'd do anything for big versatile to hit a 3 or dunk it.
As we're going to see Milo Johansson come out as well. But an amazing ride for number 1, number 3, and number 5. Ethan Hilliard, Makai Peterson, and Ryan Hadley, who have likely checked out for their final time as Vikings. As Lunt kicks it out to Brown. Brown up top, back to Lunt. Guarded by Van Dorn. Lunt drives, lays it up and in. A great move. And now Makai Peterson gets it into Parker Van Dorn as there's 85 ticks left in this game and the Vikings season as they're down 33.
Parker Van Dorn gives it to Chaz. Deep 3 from Chaz. Good! Chaz Rose.
That's a terrible shot.
No, that is
straight up.
Amazing. I love Chaz Rose. Chaz Rose is the coolest guy around.
Here's Peterson Lunt. His deep 3.
Oh my goodness, Lunt!
If that is the coach's son, he might get talked to a little bit about that, but if I'm him, I think the high that he's on right now is almost definitely worth it. As here's Chaz Rose.
Answers. Oh my goodness, Chaz! He answers!
I don't think Coach McAllister is very happy with Chaz. But we're going to see Tyler Hudson check in and Preston White check in. Fun fact, only 1 Viking has not scored a point this season, and that is Tyler Hudson.
Can he do it? There's 45 seconds.
Finn Spilsbury has yet to make a field goal, but he made, and Preston White has yet to make a field goal, but both of them made free throws. Pleasant Grove will get at least 1 more possession. Here's Hudson that's White on the defense, the freshman for Pleasant Grove, as both teams play in their benches. Lunt throws it out of bounds.
PG's ball.
Clock continues to run as an amazing season for Pleasant Grove comes to a close. Started the season out 10-1. As now they do winning team, losing team.
Oh my goodness, Preston White. I love Preston White.
I feel like you love a lot of these guys. I love every single one of these guys.
I just love seeing Preston freshmen get some buckets.
Here's Lunt. Pull it, and he does.
Oh, Lunt! He does it again! Parker Van Dorn at the buzzer. No good.
Peterson Lunt versus Chaz Rose, and that's going to do it. 90-59 as Pleasant Grove's defense collapses at a 31-point loss in the playoffs. Pleasant Grove will go home unhappy, and their season is over. We thank you for tuning in to PGSN throughout the entire season. It was a pleasure to have you guys here as many times as you tuned in, whether it was just today or whether it was for all 24 games. It was an absolute honor, as that was my final basketball game to call. It was an absolute honor to do that here for PGSN and for these Pleasant Grove Vikings. A standout of a season, nothing to hang your head for. Anything else to say tonight, Jack?
It was a pleasure commentating with you. Game. Final game of my 3rd year here at PGSN for the Pleasant Grove basketball, and still 1 more to go. But it will be without Allen, and it won't quite be the same. But we will still bring you the best broadcast we can. So I cannot thank you guys enough for tuning in every single Tuesday and Friday to watch these games. And we thank Coach Mack and the basketball program for giving us this opportunity to go with them to Georgia and to be friends with the team more than just commentate them.
Absolutely love Coach Mack and this entire basketball team. Jack, loved the experience to be with you guys and to be with you on the mic every single night. That does it for us here at PGSN. For one final time for me, you guys are going to get a great team and a great commentator back next year
But for the final time for basketball season, I'm Alan Judson.
And I'm Jack Barnard.
And we send you off. We hope you have an amazing Friday night. We thank you for tuning in to PGSN, and we will see you another time.